Hello and welcome. In this video you will be a witnesses of me wiping out entire Pangaea map. As always, we're starting with only a single settler while our bot opponents starting with 3. So don't be shy to reroll until you get something good. So here you can see that I have 4 ships, locks nearby and river. It's of course not an epic start, but it's decent. I'm starting with an astrology in my attempt of getting monumentality golden age, and of course I will try to get some really nice religion, but it's almost impossible, but I will try. I'm being a bit greedy by using urban planning policy card instead of God King. But +2 holy site that will coming next give me extra 2 faith immediately, so I think I will get a really good pantheon. Now kids, always replace your districts so you will build them later with a cheaper price. These barbarians nearby are no match to great and mighty Japan warriors. It was an easy target cause I was fortified and in the woods, which gives me in total +9 defense. Those guys keep spawning and thinks about getting real. But luckily for me, I got promotion, extra 50 health, and I'm still fortified on a hill with a jungle, so it's +12 to my defense. Keep that in mind when you're fighting barbarians. Those brainless barbarians attacked wave after the wave until our counteroffensive succeeded. Shizuoka is our great second city on a 3-1 base honey tile. And of course I will build holy site there too, because Japan has bonus to holy site construction, which makes it a really good monumentality thief. Now it's time to choose a pantheon. Of course I would like to have a pantheon that will increase my faith income, but I don't see any options to do that. There is a few options. How can you get those extra faith as a Japan? It's either Sacred Pass or Earth Goddess. But unfortunately I don't have much forest and jungle tiles, and in fact I have just a few of jungle tiles that just decrease appeal around. So I decided to choose God of the Sea, which increase my early game production and boost my coastal cities. Now the time has come to pick a religion. Unfortunately, as I expected, best religions was already taken by AI. With the world and corals are gone and I have to pick a work ethic. Keep in mind that it gives you only +6 maximum production with a BBG mod. I was thinking of taking Jesuit education, but my low faith income will not do that great for that belief. Second belief was pretty obvious, it's a pilgrimage or lay ministry. Since I'm playing Japan and have extra bonus production toward Theatral Square, I decided to go for lay ministry. Sure, why not? After finishing second holy site, I can build a discounted harbor. You know that 40% discount that pro players abusing all the time. I can build one discounted harbor in Shizuoka and a second one in my new founded city Fukuoka. Finally turn 31, it's time to choose a monumentality dedication as I promised you at the beginning of the video. Building some harbors means that I will have extra trade routes, and trading with AI is not very good. That is why I'm going for Magnus' internal strategy. Our neighbors is not very pleased with that action and they're not denouncing me yet, but quite unhappy. So I decided to please them with a few trade deals. But it has no effect I hoped for, and our relationship is still in tension. By turn 34 I was finally able to adopt new government. For naval thieves it is of course better to start with oligarchy and get oligarchy legacy, but well, I don't think that AIs will ever get any fleets, so right away choosing a classical republic. Extra housing, extra amenities and 2 economic policy card and 1 wild card. What can be better for development? Our second governor is Moksha, because in better balanced game mode it gives you extra culture. If I could get corals, I would rather go Pingala instead, because it still gives science. But I was not fast enough and not good enough to beat those cheating bots. I finally expanded my empire with the two brand new cities Osaka and Okayama, immediately buying some builders in there to boost their progress. Keep in mind that with my mentality you can face purchase traders too, which is super effective with Magnus Internal's trade routes. By turn 40 I was able to finish Audience Chamber, which is not a bad timing at all. Audience Chamber gives extra 2 food, 3 housing and 1 amenities in a city with the governor. Moksha finally gets his promotion, which is helpful. Extra culture always welcomed. I spreaded my invoice all over the places, mostly focusing religious city-states. And since we have not the worst infrastructure, it is time for us to expand. Spending your face for settlers is cool, but not that cool as building them with a colonization policy card. It is more efficient to buy a builder in new cities than to just buy settlers. Keep in mind that you are having not only a faith purchase discount, but a gold purchase discount in the monumentality. That is why I'm using Caravanserai's policy card for now, but I will change it right after I get scripture policy card. It is now turn 45 and it's time to think of how can we get our golden age. Building wonders, one of the easiest solution. As I mentioned earlier, bots are not making any naval cities, even if it's a naval thief like Indonesia. So you can surely build some naval wonders such as Colossus. If you build a lot of districts of the same type, you can have a discount of new districts like that campus I'm building now. Also, Japan can easily get +3 campus or +3 theater square, which can give you some extra era score. Having a warrior or horseman grants you additional era score for each. Settling on a desert or a tundra tile gives you extra era score. Also, keep in mind that each great person gives you additional era score too. And for naval thieves, things are getting a bit trickier because you can get Caius Dulius and form a fleet, which gives you additional era scores if needed. So by turn 50, which is the last turn I can get era score, I was able to get 48 out of 48, securing my golden age. Cheers! I'm trying to figure it out, is it worth to send trade routes or not, because they're still angry at me and I'd like to have some friends. And by friends I mean allies, because, trading thief is awesome with external trade routes. It's a turn 51 at last and new era begins. Since I'm planning to take a free inquiry, I'm using naval infrastructure policy card, which gives me extra 26 gold and extra 26 science. Scripture not doing much, but it's still 16 faith, so why not to use it? And since I'm having only about 7 cities, I decided to build few more. Boom, it's free inquiry boys and my science rocketing to the skies. This dedication extremely effective for Japan, since you have extra adjacency bonus for all your districts from all your districts. It's pumped up from 35 to 88, which means I got more than a 50 science just in a single turn. Luckily for me, Congress voted for additional wildcard policy slot for Classical Republic. Well, without hesitations, I used Natural Philosophy policy card, which increased my science even more. Kaboom Rico, now it's 97. Japan Empire should know no borders. That is why with my third colonization wave I'm planning to settle 5 new cities. Tokyo is the most interesting of them all because Lan is going to govern it, and a few more cities will be found on a far shore. Fill it with precious ivory and cotton. Unfortunately, my core cities are not growing as fast as I'd like to, that is why I'm building some fish farms. With a BBS you can build fish farms after you discover cartography. I finally got additional title and promoting Leon. It will boost my production in Tokyo City. With all those new coastal cities building harbors and my core city building shipyards, Veterancy policy card will be definitely in use. Keep in mind that it boosts not only encampment and its building, but harbors and all three buildings you can build there. Finally, Halicarnassus finished. It secures our golden age and of course give us a lot of bonuses with great engineers. Finally reached industrialization, yay! Just one turn before the age ends. Now things are getting more interesting because Japan has unique factory which gives extra culture. So my plan is simple as that. I will build factory in every single city I own. Of course I'm playing a bit greedy because I have only knights available. But my neighbors are kinda peaceful and I even managed an alliance with the Sendok. I'm trying to maximize output of my industrial zones by posting them with aqueducts and sometimes even with a dam, but unfortunately it didn't go well for me. And for some reasons I couldn't build any dams around. I was surprised that I got third golden age in a row, but well, why don't we take monumentality runs again? Of course, for multiplayer games it is common to pick reform the coinage, but trade roads to the AI is not that great. Just take a look at this beautiful Tokyo city. It already has 7 pops and population is rising. Check out these amazing farm tiles. Because of a new watermill mechanic in better balanced game, it has a lot of production on it and of course a lot of food production too. Okay, let's have a brief look at our trade roads. So as you can see, my internals gives me 5 food and 5 production. I have a really cool trade road to Gwangju, which seems amazing because we have a research alliance, but I don't use that much of external trade roads for now, but I should rearrange them and use vessel banking policy card. As you can see, as a tier 2 building in Governor Plaza, I'm going for a Grandmaster Chapel. It is not the best choice, of course, because I'm not having that much faith, but it will help me to ensure my security against AIs without building any units at all. So basically, I'm just greedy. Let's take a look at a policy card. Now I'm thinking about using Whistle Banking, but I don't have much external trade routes and decide to put Republican Legacy card instead of Triangle Trade. There you go, boys, the crucial moment of entire series. Leonardo da Vinci joins the party. It gives us extra culture from our workshop and we can use him twice. Thanks to Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Really strong combo wombo. Finally, after finishing Electronic Factory in most of our cities, we have 200 culture per turn, with only a few theatrical squares, and now we can add few more of those with a good adjacency bonus, which boosts our culture even further. Ah yes, and finally it's time to build a campus in our capital. Well, I was a little bit busy on every other districts than that. But to be honest, science is not that important as culture at first place, and you probably don't really need that at very beginning of the game. But for now, when we are aiming for new advanced technologies, we probably should boost it really hard. At this point of the game, I'm so confident that I decided to build few more settlers. One will go to the north to build sand basil and one will just secure the floodplains. As you can see, I'm not hard controlling any of the city-states, I'm just trying to spread my envoys to boost income of stats and yields. Not being a huge fan of building wonders, I missed the Ruhr Valley and had to use my engineer to build Taj Mahal. It is still a decent wonder, will get extra era score and secure golden age in future. My attempt of getting Albert Einstein was not that great. I couldn't face buy it or gold buy it and eventually lost him to the AI because he was making project 2. Whoa, welcome to the 2K22. At this point of the game, I'm starting to struggling with low amenities. Even the trade luxuries won't help. So I'm starting to thinking about building more entertainment complexes and water parks. Finally, Okazaki was settled and right away we're making a grand project as Saint Basil here. In the middle of nowhere, without any resources. Boom, 460 turns remaining. Well, we can chop it and use Great Engineer. Since I'm in a dark age, I decided to build Nagoya not that close to Korea, so I wouldn't have to deal with that loyalty drop that might come. As you can see, I'm trying to build some really nice industrial zones around it. And by the way, since I'm in a dark age, I picked reform coinage once again, so I could have extra points for each trade route. Entertainment complex built in Shizuoka, in the middle of my empire, and I will get extra amenities really soon. You can also notice water park in Osaka, and I'm trying to build one more aqua park in Akayama, but I'm not having enough population there. Since I'm the one on the map who's making harbors and industrial zones, I'm getting all the engineers and admirals. I'm keeping admirals for times of need, but it does looks like I won't need them at all. Being greedy is nice. You can build researcher labs, well, really early in the game. And because I'm being friendly to my neighbors, I don't really need a lot of that military tax. So well, I'm guess we'll having knights till the end of the game. Well, just kidding. You all know where this is going. My amenities problem has gone, but I want to reach +5, so I build sewers and use all policy cards that gives extra amenity to your cities. Yes, keep in mind that sewers gives extra amenity in a better balanced game mode, so they are way more useful than in vanilla. With all those culture I have, I finally able to promote my beloved Magnus to tier 4 vertical integration promotion, and you can see that city boosted from 121 to 167 production immediately. So I just got extra 40 production for a single promotion. Cheers! We finally discovered radio and building a lot of broadcast centers in our theatral squares. Labs and broadcast centers boost our stats to the sky. You can see that we are far ahead of our opponents, except of maybe Teddy Roosevelt. Ah, and the first musician here, right in time. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's a finally Basil done. All we need to do now is to forestate this area and get some juicy tiles. Finally, democracy is here. Our goal now is to boost science production and amenities as much as we can. The best one policy card for doing so, of course, a New Deal, and I put it immediately after I get it. If we able to reach +5 amenities in our cities, it will grant us 20% more of every single resource that cities produces. You should always keep an eye on your amenities and get +10 or +20% bonuses if it's possible during the game. And yes, I'm using Machiavellism in my attempt of making rebellion in Buenos Aires, so I can liberate it and get extra amenities too. Because I'm not targeting science or cultural victory, I'm building War Department as a tier 3 Governor Plaza building. It will helps me a bit later because my units will get extra healing when they will destroy my opponent's units. With all preparations almost being done, my citizens cheering on a brand new stadium while my table plan almost ready. But actually something gone really wrong, because Teddy Roosevelt is planning to achieve his own cultural victory in 62 turns. Well, we have to make a preventive actions like boost our culture to the sky, or maybe deal with old Teddy, you know? Or why don't we do both? So for now, my goal was to reach globalization as fast as possible to boost my science with the policy, with the green policy card. So first of all, let's check our amenities level. It's +7 and +8 in some cities, which means we can get rid of some policy cards. I, of course, could use sports media and grand opera, but instead I'm just using symphonies policy card to get more musicians for my empire and left less musicians for Teddy Roosevelt, which in my opinion slightly better than just boost culture. Since there is nothing much left to build, I'm making scientific projects to reach GDRs faster. This will also help to solve Teddy Roosevelt problem, by the way. The day has finally come. Our long journey reached its end. Brave Japan civilization starts building its own giant death robots in every single city to show its dominance to the world. Now we are ready. Of course, we'll have some problems with uranium, but well, our main goal now is to get that uranium from other parts of the map. I have to tell you, there is two more sources of uranium lies right next to us in a city-state and in a Khmer Empire. That is our first targets. So let us be patient and wait till GDRs march to the east. Unfortunately, it was not very a bright idea of sending spies to Buenos Aires to lower its loyalty because, I can't actually liberate him. I can only keep it or refuse, which is disappointing. Well, of course I kept city because why should I say no? I spent a lot of time to convert it. I can finally use International Space Station policy card, which gives me 116 extra science, which is great. So the March of Giants has begun. Poor Sandok desperately tried to declare friendship with our nations, but she failed, and now her empire and her people are doomed. With only a few devastating blows, Gwangju almost disappeared from the face of Earth. Few more GDRs attacked Bima and Indonesian Empire joins the war. But even with the combined forces of those great nations, they was not matched. City of Bima disappeared. Just with a few strikes, Palembang was captured and razed. So now entire human civilization knows that their days are counted. Capital of Korea, city Guangzhou, fell. On the north, the land of Khmer civilization was devastated. Group of GDRs heading toward its capital anchored home, leaving nothing behind but a wasteland. And just like that, greatest city of Earth fell. Just a few shots needed to evaporate all its defense. America was next. Anthropomorphed steel giants trampled on land what used to be the example of culture and prosperity. City by city they methodically wiped out an entire nation. But not only Washington was captured, Talong, the city of a coliseum, was taken. Those robots wanted no domination. It was a genocide. Those monsters reached farthest lands of China and Spain. But instead of greetings, they launched nukes. None can be safe outside of reservations. The bright star of Kublai Khan fading, with a roar of thermonuclear device. All resistance in Spain was crushed just in a few turns. Spain capital, Madrid, falls like the others. Without hesitation, metal-hearted beasts destroyed everything on their path. At the year 1856 AD, the last free city was captured. None left but Japan. Glory to the Emperor of the world. That's it, friends. Thanks for your company till the very end. If you are still watching, please subscribe, leave a comment below and hit the bell button. It will help to promote this video. If you want to check all 8 hours of gameplay, you can find link in the description below. I have almost daily Twitch streams. You can join me there. Sending you positive vibes, much love, bye bye.